The CDC meets for a second time this Friday to discuss a possible link between the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and extremely rare blood clots. Here to answer your questions is Dr. Daniel Kritzkis. He is the Chief of Infectious Diseases at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Dr. Kritzkis, thanks so much for being with us. So right now, the CDC reviewing those 6 cases of women who developed these clots within days after receiving the shot. Any idea what, if anything, that they'll find after this kind of deeper look into the cases and what they're likely to do next?
Well, good evening, Erica. Good to be with you. I think it's reasonably clear that the mechanism by which the J&J vaccine is causing these clots and low platelet counts is very similar to what has been seen in Europe with the AstraZeneca vaccine. Very, very rarely, some people, mostly young women, develop an antibody stimulated by the vaccine that also attacks a platelet factor that causes the platelets to clump together, making them clot. And that's probably the mechanism. What the committee will do, I think, is going to depend a lot on how they assess the relative risks and benefits in different age groups and in different types of people.
Well, so Johnson & Johnson, they said last week the benefits of its vaccine do outweigh the risks. We know that European authorities have said that too. Do you agree?
I think if you look at the raw numbers overall, that's correct. That there were roughly 1 in a million cases of this complication, and even if you limit that to the 1.5 million young women who got vaccinated, maybe it's 4 in a million. But the risks of getting and dying of COVID in that population would be a few in 100,000, so 1,000 times greater risk of dying of COVID than of having this complication. But I think we'll have to see how the committee decides to stratify that risk, whether the J&J vaccine may be less favorable in certain younger populations compared to the RNA vaccines, but more safely used in older populations. We'll know more on Friday after the full discussion.
And I guess it's a good thing we haven't heard about any additional cases at this point, because I know they wanted to wait some time. Meantime, we do want to talk about the situation in Massachusetts as well. Specifically, 2 weeks ago, we had nearly 3,000 new infections in one day. Now the number is tracking closer to 1,000. So are you optimistic those numbers will continue to drop?
I am optimistic. It's really great to see these numbers coming down. It's worth pointing out that we are still higher than where we were last summer when we were down to just hundreds of cases, and so there's still a ways to go. But I think we're seeing the effects of the vaccine rollout and the effects of people being more cautious about always wearing their masks and not being too adventurous in terms of indoor gathering.
Yeah, all right. Well, it feels good to be hopeful. Dr. Kritzkis, thanks so much, as always, for being with us.
You're very welcome.